Would the club seek external investment to retain Trevor Carting, offering him a better deal? He is worth it, I'm sure you'll agree.
I think the situation with Trevor is not about money.
No.
It's about geography, and it's about status. He's just been called up to the Northern Ireland squad. He's on the bench. I mean, he said to me, if nothing happens, then he'll be playing for Cheltenham Town next season. Of course, because he's contracted to do that, and we'd be delighted, and the fans would clearly be delighted too. It isn't about offering him more money. It is about him making a decision based on quality of life and his personal situation.
Excellent. I think we've covered this, but how many more signings can be made before Gary has to offload a few in the squad?
Well, I think we're sort of going at that sort of stage now, really. If I'm honest, I think we made some good signings. They've all been on pretty good wages because they're the sort of quality that we need. So I think you might see one, you might see two, but I think really we've now got to be looking at either making some more money available from somewhere, and I'm not quite sure if we get another 100 season tickets, that would mean that we're well over budget on season tickets, so we might be able to do something more there. If we get a bit of a windfall that we're not expecting, there's one or two things in the pipeline at the moment, then we can put a bit more into the playing squad, which would be our priority. But at the moment, it is a very tight budget.
Yeah, what somebody's asked, how much, if any, interest has there been in our transfer list of players?
I'm not aware. Well, we've had a couple of. There has been a little bit of interest in Trevor. To be fair, for a couple of clubs, but apart from that, I'm not aware of any other interest.
Okay, but that's offers that haven't materialised or things that haven't been acceptable to the football.
Correct, and I also think that clubs are still biding their time on players at the moment, so I wouldn't necessarily expect clubs to be coming in for any of our players, partly because they're under contract and therefore there's a cost involved. So, but as the season gets nearer and nearer and nearer, clubs do more and more wheeling and dealing, and agents, players, clubs get a bit more desperate to do deals.
Yeah. This came up at the fans' focus. Can the Hazelwood stand become a home end next year with a smaller away following as expected?
Yeah, I mean it's the thing about it is I think that if that would assume we kept the Bristol Street Motor Stand a home end as well, I think, so fans then have got the opportunity of both standing and sitting behind the goal. It also means we'd have to put away fans into the Thompson Bank stand corner potentially, or segregate the Hazelwood stand.
Does there have to be segregation in the conference for every game?
I'm not sure actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
One.
I don't know.
I remember changing ends when I was a young lad. So
Gloucester City games, they segregate, don't they?
They only segregate for, I think, for the Worcester games.
For certain games, yeah. I think it's something. It's difficult for us to do it at the moment. We haven't ruled it out. It's something we got plenty of time to look at that, and it is something we're really mindful of, because I have sat in the Hazelwood stand to watch Gloucester City actually a couple of years ago, and it's a brilliant place to watch football from, and it does generate a really good noise in there. So there are some very strong reasons why we should give it to home fans. It's also on the town side of so people can just come straight in. There may be an opportunity also when we look at this car park situation and the housing swap, and we get our new entrance on Pressfield Road, which means then the away fans can come into the ground at Pressfield Road and go in at perhaps at the bottom end. But yeah, I mean, I let me take that back, because it's something we've talked around it.
It's coming from the fans. It's coming from the fans focus group anyway.
It's something we need to think about. I think we wouldn't want to sell season tickets in that stand, because there will be some.
We'll assumedly fill it.
We'll hopefully bring quite a few, and therefore it's not great having to relocate season ticket holders. So we wouldn't want to do that. But I think personally too, actually from the football club's point of view, it would generate more revenue, because people who perhaps were standing in the paddock or wherever, and then go and sit and paying a couple of quid extra. So it's a no-brainer in some respects. So I think we need to look at it from a stewarding point of view and a segregation point of view. It may well be that we can just half the Hazelwoods and have our fans up to halfway, and then put the others in the corner. The other issues we need to be careful about are toilets and
catering.
It's not as straightforward as,
No,
as it
just
looks.
click your fingers and say, yeah, go in there. Yeah.
But where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.